you understand that there's a virus going around in this building?
You guys are acting like you're seeing an alien or something like that. We just open the borders up, we let them in, and they bring them in disease. You all right? You sick?
Trailer for the new movie simply titled Corona. When 7 neighbors are trapped in an elevator, fear and racism quickly escalates. This one-shot thriller, which was written, directed and produced by Mostafa Keshvari, looks at the challenges being faced globally today in terms of the virus itself, as well as the wider challenges that will be around long after the virus is finally beaten, as the Asian population finds itself the target of rising prejudice. My colleague Zhong Shi talked to the director of the movie.
Mostafa Keshvari, welcome to CGTN.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be on your show and talking to my fellow Chinese friends, and I hope everybody's safe back in China.
How did the idea, the concept of this film come to you? I know you were in an elevator reading news headlines about COVID-19, and you just had a spark. Tell us more.
Yes, so I wrote, direct, and produced this film, and the idea came to me around mid-January when this was a fairly new virus, and most people were just referring to as Wuhan virus or the Chinese virus. And I was reading news on the elevator about all these racist attacks on Chinese people, and also even anyone who looked Chinese to them. It kind of broke my heart to see that. And I used the idea came to me. I was in the elevator, and as an independent filmmaker, you have to, think outside of the box. So I literally decided to make the movie in the box and use the coronavirus as a symbol of fear, of xenophobia, and it became a kind of metaphoric art film about the fear of each other. But one thing that this virus has proven us is that this virus doesn't discriminate. The virus is not racist, and it's basically, we are the one who actually making it about one certain race. It can affect anyone, doesn't matter of the race, color, or religion, and therefore the human race must come together as one to fight this.
Just like everyone else, I was only able to see the trailer of your film, but I was able to get a glimpse of what you were trying to show to everyone else. You talked about that just now, the fear. It's in our nature, it's in everyone's nature to fear, especially in the midst of this global health crisis. But by bringing all that fear in front of your viewers, what is your message?
The message is that fear is a virus. So I believe a lot of people, I get a lot of backlash, people saying, oh, but the virus came from China. I'm not here to question where the virus came from, not the origin of virus, but the origin of hate and racism that resides within human beings throughout different times in history. The point of me as a filmmaker is to understand where is this racism and xenophobia comes from, and does it serve us at this point? Life is already difficult as it is for all of us, and we cannot just make it more difficult by adding unjustified hate and racism. So I think the whole message of the movie is that we as human race must come together to fight this virus of xenophobia and racism, which will outlive the coronavirus. Long after the coronavirus is old news and we have overcome it, our battle and fight against xenophobia and racism will continue.
In what way do you think your film helps to raise the awareness of issues we're talking about here today? Stigmatization, xenophobia, discrimination against minority groups, and in what way does your film maybe help resolve these issues?
This film is only a continuation of my previous work that I've always done. All my films have been about social injustice and relevant social issues. I think that, only when you make a film from your heart that it will relate to everybody around the globe. And I think that film is no exception. With the Corona movie, we want to not only fight xenophobia, but my goal is to also fight coronavirus. So the way we want to do it and make difference is that I'm hoping that with have this film available in China soon, and with part of the profit that comes from licensing in China, I can donate that to charity causes to get medical supplies needed in Canada, and not only fight the coronavirus back home in Canada, but also people in China can watch it, and that hopefully fight racism and discrimination. I'm not people say you cannot save lives with movies, but I think in this case you can, and also you can save basically a lot of people from discrimination and hate crimes by opening their eyes and raising their eyes, and that's what I hope this film will do.
You are an independent filmmaker, so film festivals mean a lot to you. Those are the occasions where you can promote your films. But now everything seems to be on a pause right now as a result of COVID-19. How has this pause impacted your works, the promotion of your film, and work on your future films?
I think with this coronavirus, the whole film industry is changing, and I think this film, my plan was to go to festivals. Like I had a few short films at Cannes Film Festival, and I wanted to go there, but it got delayed and canceled. More bigger festivals, but I think with all that being halted now, the only choice is to go to the streaming channels, and it's a movie that relates to people now, and I would love people to watch it as soon as possible. And sometimes as a filmmaker, you have to forget about the awards and just make something that will speak to your audience in a time of need.